Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Dr. D Oracle channel. And I'm thankful that you've joined me today. I'm going to do a 3-card reading about being at the crossroads. So, if you by chance have come upon a place where you are being called to make a final decision, okay? You're being called to make a final decision about something that is going to change the course of your destiny or your life. If you happen to like the content of my channel, please make sure to click the like button and subscribe so that you can receive notifications every time I upload a new video. And the cool thing about this is that you kind of get a small mini free reading without calling me for a reading. So you get to test out my skill. So before I go into the reading, I just want to talk a little bit about being at a crossroads. Oftentimes that is when people seek a reading from someone such as myself who can provide them with the guidance and the direction that they need to be able to make the best choice. What is the best choice? The best choice is what is going to be aligned with your highest and your greatest potential. Too many times we may want to accomplish something or we desire something that is not in alignment with what our highest and greatest potential is. And so as we try to create new versions of ourselves, what ends up happening is that a choice comes up that makes us fall behind in our growth, in our development. It stunts us or it stagnates us. And so we are left with the question of what do we do? How do we go about this situation? So that's what this short video is going to be about today. And I'm just going to do a small pick a card, 3-card reading. But first, I want to talk about exactly how do we use a reading. When we're coming in to get our cards read, or we want to get a psychic reading, or even a mediumship reading, okay? How do we use that reading so that we are able to move forward, okay? A lot of people have hired me as a personal spiritual advisor based on the fact that I've given them relevant information in a reading that has helped them to manage their lives, okay? Because they've been able to apply better reasoning and judgment with that reading. Spirit will never, ever tell us what to do. But Spirit provides different tools that we can use to help ourselves. Kind of like a compass if you're in a boat and you're trying to figure out which direction do I need to go to get here. That is what a reading is for. It's kind of like a compass, okay? To point you in the right direction, okay? Now, if you decide not to take a specific course of action or to take a course of action, that would be totally your decision. But the reading is there to basically show you all of the open doors, all of the possibilities, and what exactly do you have to lose or gain with your decision, okay? So that is what we are supposed to be using a reading for. We're not using a reading to check in and find out what's going to happen next month and the month after and the month after that. We are using a reading to understand what opportunities, what options we have available to us, and what we stand to lose or gain by taking those particular options. Or perhaps it is a person that we are interested in gaining a closer connection with. Or it could be a person that we need to lose a connection with, okay? So when that happens and we're at a crossroads, it could also be a job. It could also be a place to live. But when we are at those crossroads, we need to understand how to evaluate and analyze, okay, things so that we can make a decision. By getting spiritual insight through a reading, we have now opened up another door that we can look through, another lens that we can look through to understand if we take a specific course of action, what is going to be the consequences? What is going to be the outcome? So today I'm just going to do the reading. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to base the reading on issues that you need to look at before making a decision, okay? What is it that you need to take into account? So as usual, whenever I do a pick a card reading, I ask that you would calm and center yourself. Take a few deep breaths before you make a choice. And then I go into the reading and I will allow you to decide which card is yours. Now, if you want to get a more detailed and in-depth reading, or maybe this reading doesn't even resonate, that is when you want to call me, okay, and you want to get on my schedule for a personal reading, okay? I do card readings. Mostly I like to do that for clients, people that are new, fresh coming in. I like to give you a psychic reading. So that way you really see what I can do. And guarantee, once people get a psychic reading, they don't want any other reading from me. But I do offer card readings for people who just like to see, some people like to see a presentation before them. Like, what are you explaining? What are you really talking about? Okay. Some people are okay with me just giving them psychic insights. I really like that because when it manifests and you call me and say, you told me that this was going to happen, or maybe I gave you some information about your significant other and you went back to them and you had that conversation with them. That is what I was talking about with being the spiritual advisor. Because if I give you insight about your husband or your significant other, you can take that back to him and you can have that conversation with him and you can seem like, oh, wow, this is a wise woman. Now you actually made your money really count for you as well as the reading. So let's go into a reading with purpose and understand that we are using this for better reasoning and judgment skills, okay? All right, so we're going to get into it. And what is our number, Spirit? The number is 14. Number is 14. All right. 14th card. We've got the Emperor coming up. We've got the Seven of Swords coming up. Okay. And that's inverted. And we also have the Nine of Wands coming up. So let us talk about, if you chose, just going to turn these two cards over. We're going to talk about card one. If you chose card one with the Emperor, okay, the Emperor is already a ruler. The Emperor is in charge. The Emperor has everything he needs to kind of keep things in line and keep things in order. If you're wondering what the Emperor looks like, he sits on his throne and he is usually waiting to do what it is he was called to do. Okay? The Emperor is usually a person who's good in business, a very paternal or fatherly type individual. So their divine masculine is very much in check. But one thing that the Emperor has issues with is showing emotion. Okay, the Emperor has a hard time showing emotion. He's very stern and he has to stick to his guns on everything. So when you're coming into a crossroads and you have to make a decision as the Emperor, you're really kind of using your head over your heart type of deal, okay? And the Emperor is very logical, okay? So this is a good card to get if you're at a crossroads, because this card is basically saying you need to use more logic. Stay out of your emotion, okay? And try to think more with common sense, and don't let your feelings or your emotions cause you to make a decision too quick. Like, be really level-headed. And so with the Emperor, it's like you need to concentrate on structure. You need to concentrate on stability. You need to be more focused. Okay? That's what the Emperor is saying you need to do. Okay? So that you can be able to make a better decision. Okay? This also just kind of calls out to wisdom, okay? Using your wisdom. You see, he's sitting there like with the long beard. So he's had a lot of experiences, and he's really able to take those experiences and assimilate those experiences into a way to have an empire or to be in charge of others, to be an authority figure. Okay? So, this is really saying that what you need to do is use more wisdom. Okay? So, look at your past experiences and what you've been through and how that has taught you, what you gained from that, and then use that information to evaluate if whether or not it's going to be better for you to go east or west. Okay? Are you going to take the high road or the low road? Okay? Are you going to do what's best for other people? Or are you going to do what's best for the situation at large? Like, everybody's going to win here. Okay? That's what the Emperor is about. So using that logic, okay, to really get a win-win situation, okay? That's what's going to help you on your decision that you're facing right now. I feel like this decision here has to do with whether or not you're going to stay connected to specific people, or are you going to rise above it? You know, we grow out of people and situations all the time. And so some people have a destiny or a higher calling, okay? Where, you know, they may not want to let go of certain people, of certain situations or connections, but they need to so that they can live out their destiny of being large and in charge. Okay? So that's what the Emperor is about, and that's what we're going to use in our decision making process. Spirit is saying here, pay more attention to your wisdom and your logic than your emotions and your feelings, so you can create a win-win situation. Okay? That is the Emperor. And so the next card, if you're at a crossroads, is going to be the Seven of Swords. Okay? Which this card is really about scamming. Okay? So you really want to be careful when you see this Seven of Swords come up, okay? Right here, this card is really actually saying you need to not be so trusting, okay? You're too trusting. And that's the reason why you keep getting scammed, okay? A lot of times, you know, we want to believe the best about people, but when you see them doing weird stuff, you know that you can't believe the best about them because it's throwing off your spirit. You feel something, but you still wanted to trust them. So this card has an element to it of being kind of outsmarted. So if you want to use this reading to make better decisions, this card is basically saying let people earn your trust before you give them anything, okay? Because you're going to get scammed, okay? So you got to watch out if this card comes up. This card is actually telling you, like, you need to watch yourself, okay? You're slipping. That's basically what this is telling you. As you can see, he's got these swords and he's holding them all in his hand, getting cut up, but at the same time, he's running away from something, okay? So he basically is escaping, but he's putting himself in danger at the same time. So this is like saying, don't really do it because it's like you're about to be scammed. Okay? You got to watch your back. And even if that person is cool, you need to allow that person to earn your trust first, okay? Because you see, they don't even care about themselves. They're holding some swords all in their hands. They could fall on them or anything, but they don't even care. So why would they care about you? They wouldn't care about you. I mean, come on now. They're not even paying attention. They're not aware, okay, of the things that they're doing that are hurting themselves. So they're not really going to be aware of anything that they're doing to hurt you, okay? And that's basically, I mean, this card is basically telling you, like, don't ignore warning signs, okay? Also, like, pay attention to the red flags. Any type of warning signals that you're getting, pay attention to that, okay? Because that's telling you something. Don't ignore that. Don't turn your back on it, okay? This card also says that you, like, need to speak up for yourself, okay? Because you lack backbone. So maybe people say things or do things, but you don't say anything at first. You just kind of let it roll off, but you're still cool with the person, okay? You basically rewarding them for their negative treatment of you. This card also says that they could try to steal your achievements, okay? Um, so, you know, don't really, I really feel like this card is basically talking about a business deal, okay? And I think with this card, somebody has gotten a little too close for comfort, and you're really in business with the person, but then you kind of have like a connection with them too. So you're thinking, oh, they would never hurt me. Psych. Remember we say that, psych? um, so yeah, pay really close attention to how you're mixing things, and things are kind of like on parallel lines here. You need to separate business from pleasure, okay? And if you can have the connection with the person, but you need to let them know this doesn't have anything to do with business. You may have earned my trust as a friend, but this doesn't have anything to do with business, okay? Um, so this card could also mean that you need to come clean, okay, about something before making a decision. So it would basically be like you need to confess, you need to get it off your chest, okay? So that would be card number 2. And coming up on a crossroads, what you need to do, okay? You need to either come clean and confess, or you need to stop being so trusting and divide or separate business from pleasure, okay? So you don't get scammed. And so the last card, card 3, this would be the 9 of Wands, okay? To me, this card always represents getting out of jail, or like some sort of, I don't know, like some sort of criminal type behavior or activity. Um, a 9 is like coming upon completion or the end of something, okay? And of course, Wands is always about that thought process going on, okay? And so when you see the 9 of Wands and you're asking, okay, what does this mean in reference to how I should make a decision? Well, this basically, 9 of Wands represents being stubborn, okay? Not really wanting to compromise, and also like getting tired, giving up, um, dropping your guard, or even like encountering unexpected trouble. So for this card, I would say that what you need to do right now to make a decision, okay, if you're at a crossroads, is you need to compromise a little bit, okay? Everything isn't going to go the way that you want it to go. So you're going to have to make some provisions, okay? And compromise with someone, okay? I really feel like this card is more in regards to relocation, okay? Either moving to a new location or moving away from someone, okay? Um, this card shows that you just need to get up and get going, okay? I feel like this card also is speaking for getting out of denial, okay? Because you've been waiting for something to happen, and you really wanted that thing to happen, but now it's like the time has come for you to say, okay, this hasn't happened. I need to make a move, okay? And you don't want to do that. That's the stubbornness. So you're going to have to get out of that and just kind of learn how to compromise a little bit. Um, and then you're going to also have to realize that if you gave something a certain time limit already and it hasn't manifested, okay? So now you need to start making plans so that you can go ahead with, you know, the next option that you have, okay? Um, but you don't need to give up. You do need to be persistent, okay? I feel like this card is saying, um, like, you need to take 3 days and think about this consistently, okay? 3 days, think about this consistently so that you can make a decision, okay? I guess that's why this card kind of represents getting out of jail for me, because I feel like you have to sit on something with this card. Okay, you need to sit on it, but not sit on it for a long time. Like, say, okay, I'm gonna sit on it for 3 more days. Like, give yourself a time limit. Okay, and then start preparing for Plan B. Okay. Also, like I said, making some compromises. You know that you weren't able to do Plan A because it were a few options that you couldn't really solidify. Okay? So accept that. Accept that. And move on. Okay? You can always find something else to make up for that later on. Okay? Leave behind those material items that you really don't need to be carrying on the load. You can get more of that stuff later. Besides, in a couple of years, it's going to be old anyways, and you won't know what happened to half of it. Okay? Let it go. Release. Okay? So that is what you need to be doing so that you can make your decision of where do you go, east or do you go west? Do you stay or do you leave? I do feel like this is about relocation. Okay? And I feel like this is about either relocation because of finances, or a relocation because a connection or a relationship has really like run its toll. Like the tape is over, it's played out. Okay? So that is going to be my 3-card reading for people who are at a crossroads and you need to understand what to do so that you can make a better decision for yourself. Again, if this reading did not resonate, you can always reach out to me for the best readings, okay? All of my information is down below in the box. If you enjoyed this video and you liked it, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. And if you have come upon a crossroads, do not hesitate to reach out for a reading that is going to help you with having better reasoning and judgment about the situation. Thank you so much. Bye.